actually in Toronto now. That was kidding. All right.
So can you tell us about a little bit of your comics?
I can tell you about that. Zenescope Entertainment is the name of the company. We do, basically we do retellings of classic fairy tales and classic stories with a dark horror twist. So our first series was Grim Fairy Tales, which we came out with in basically, I guess it was 2006. It was the first issue, and it was a dark spin on classic fairy tales and fables. And we do a lot of like sexy covers, and that was the way we started. Al Rio did a lot of our artwork. And
certainly caught my eye.
Yeah, catches a lot of people's eyes, and so it's not necessarily what's in the content inside the books, but the covers are definitely a little bit more cheesecake.
That's what drew us in. Like,
yeah.
We signed up for the newsletter. We both got a comic book, but I ended up with the, I can't remember the name of the license right now, but it's a little girl with zombies around.
Yeah, Awakening.
I was looking for a first issue comic, and I was like, that looks interesting.
Yeah.
So I got drawn in.
That was a David Finch story. Yeah, that's a cool story. It's basically about zombies. It's not really a zombie story. It's about people who are murdered and then come back from the dead to avenge their murder. Oh. So they don't really attack random people. They just attack the killer.
They just go straight.
Yep, straight for the killer.
And another thing that caught my eye was the House of Wonderland book there, the Shining.
Yeah, that's our Shining homage. Yeah, so Wonderland we started publishing in 07. It was called Return to Wonderland, which is, again, a modern day retelling of Alice in Wonderland, where Alice is an adult, and she's like crazy because she had gone to Wonderland years before, and her daughter, the story is really about her daughter, and it's her daughter's journey into Wonderland, and like why her mom was so crazy. Now she's starting to figure it all out. Just got optioned as a television series with Lionsgate. Yeah.
Oh, Lionsgate.
Lionsgate. So we're hopefully shooting the pilot and then gonna shop to network. So could be fingers crossed a network show in the next year.
Seeing the dark twist to everything, it actually caught my interest.
Yeah.
Because I grew up with all horror stories and all folklore fables.
Right.
So now seeing them taking the most innocent stories, well, not most innocent.
Well, originally, yeah. I mean, if you look at fairy tales, if you read the original fairy tales, they're sort of dark anyway. And Disney took them and made them for kids, and so
now
we're taking them and we're making them for more of an adult.
Taking the child crowd, now that they're grown up, now they get good stories.
Right. So yeah, I mean, sorry, you can keep questioning.
That's fine. Honestly, that's a D&D size too.
Yeah. So we're at issue 77 right now. So it's one of the longest running independent books out there right now.
How long did it take you to get your business off the ground?
Still getting it off the ground, I think. No, I mean, we started like really in 05 is when we started the ball rolling with everything. So it's been 7 years in business. It's tough to have an indie company, but we have grown pretty significantly over the last 7 years. We're a top 10 comic publisher now. Thanks. So
actually, that's the wrong thing. What I'm doing, I'm trying to get my little.
It's tough. It's tough to start publishing. There's a lot of money involved, and it's a risk. But
do you have any advice for any of the people out there who might want to start doing a little comic?
Well, just don't. You know what? My best advice would be that don't over expand your product line. Start small, grow very slowly. That's the best advice I can give. You're going to make mistakes, of course, and we have to. But if you grow slowly and steadily, and be honest with yourself and your content. I mean, just because you love it doesn't mean that somebody else might love it. We've published books where we realize people aren't really into that, so sometimes you have to be willing to let go of a title and move on.
With that in mind, do you write for your audience, or do you write for yourself what you would like?
I always write, personally, I'll always write for what I like, because otherwise, I don't think I could write something that I didn't enjoy writing. I think that it wouldn't be truthful. So, not to say you don't have your days where you're struggling and you're like, I can't think of what to write today. But it's much easier when you're writing about something or something
you have a favorite comic?
Yeah, you know, I got in comics late in life, but when I started getting involved with our company and got into them, I first started reading Hellblazer, which I really thought was cool, and then I got into Preacher, which was older. I mean, that came out early 90s, mid 90s, but I started picking those up, and then Walking Dead I was like hooked on that the moment I picked that up, because that's right up my alley. So I'd say right now, Walking Dead, other than ours, Walking Dead is probably one of my favorites.
So, since we weren't recording when I asked you this, what is it you do in your company?
Oh, so I co-own the company, co-created, started the company with my business partner, Joe, Russia, in 05. So, me and him are both owners, and then I'm also editor-in-chief, and I'm also one of the writers of the books here. Joe and I co-create or have a hand in creation of pretty much all our titles. Some of the titles are creator-owned books. We don't do a lot of creator-owned stuff, but we do some of it. Or we might do something where artists come to us or creators come to us with an idea, and we'll help them create or expand upon that idea and then publish their book. So.
And for the viewers who wouldn't know, what is an editor-in-chief's job?
Stress. It's just stressful. A lot of stressfulness. No, it's really just managing the creation of the books, managing the editing of the books, managing the artists, managing the editors underneath me to get the books done, from script to finished product, from script to print. So everything from start, middle, and end.
So start to finish.
Start to finish. You know, you're involved in story creation, and now that's me in particular. I mean, other companies the duties might be a little bit different. That's
and personally for you, which of your books is your favorite?
My favorite, my favorite to read, I would say, I write some of them, so Salem's Daughter is my favorite because it's my baby, but I also want to say The Library was real, like my partner Joe Rusher wrote The Library, which is really good, and Neverland, which is really good story. Those are two of my favorites, and then of course, Fly. This is awesome. So Raven Gregory, who wrote, we created Wonderland together, and he wrote it. He also wrote Fly, and basically it's about these kids these three friends from high school. They come together in different circumstances. The one friend's dad invents this underground drug that gives you superhuman ability, basically gives you the ability to fly. So these three kids are experimenting with this dad's drug, and no one else has it. And they realize they have these powers, and then they get hooked, and it really shows the dark side of what it would be like to actually possess the ability to fly.
Well, you have to have the dark side.
And Raven wrote it. Raven, he was really honest in his writing, and that was weird.
Yeah.
I don't know if you didn't get it on camera.
So music.
Raven wrote it basically. It's about his experiences with meth addiction. Him and his wife were meth addicts for a long time, and he kicked the habit, and she had trouble kicking it. And that's really, it's their relationship written in The Fly, basically. It was really a personal story of his that he wanted to tell. USA Today did an article on it because they liked it so much. So it's one of our most critically acclaimed graphic novels. So that's one of my favorites.
Do you have any more questions? All right, if you want to make a shout out about your company to the YouTube world.
Oh, YouTube world. Hi. Zenescope Entertainment. Check us out. If you're on YouTube, after you're done watching all these cool interviews, go to Comic Company. Just type it in the search bar. Comic Company Zenescope. You can see all of our, it's basically our, what is it? How do I explain it? It's sort of like The Office, but with comics.
Oh.
If you like the sitcom The Office. Sweet. But in our version. Not as high budget.
So subscribe.
It's fun. So check us out.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, man.
Thank you.